Towns being traded to the Warriors has instantly become one of the biggest stories heading into 2020 surrounding the NBA. With us reaching the new year, around this time each season is when many teams start making trades to better themselves for the second half of the year. And with the Timberwolves struggling near the bottom of the Western Conference, it's been rumored for quite some time that Towns could be traded sooner than later, and a move to Golden State makes complete sense at this point in the season. It was recently reported that the Warriors were keeping an eye on Towns for a while now, and it's become increasingly noticeable that him entering his prime and Minnesota failing to become successful has become stressful. This year, Karl has taken things to another level. He's having the best season of his career, and yet the Timberwolves haven't capitalized on it whatsoever. Towns has been putting up 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, but Minnesota is near the bottom of the league, which is just unacceptable to a superstar like this. And yeah, the Warriors are in a similar situation, but at the end of the day, they've got multiple stars, with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson eventually coming back from injuries, and of course D'Angelo Russell. This year, D'Angelo's been quietly having one of the best seasons of his career, putting up 23 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, so him being put alongside an elite big man like this is ridiculous for the league. What makes this trade situation even more interesting is how Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell are close friends off the court, and they've actually wanted to team up in the league. Before the season, D'Angelo, Towns, and Devin Booker all appeared on Slam magazine, and they were interviewed about each other. Russell out of nowhere talked about them all teaming up in the near future, and he said, "We gotta do this again when we're all on the same team. Nah, don't cut it, y'all got it on footage. When we're all on the same team, I ain't gonna tell you which team because I don't know, but we're gonna do this again." A duo of D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns instantly turns this Warriors team around. Many already counted them out after KD departed this past offseason for the Brooklyn Nets, and then of course you had Klay Thompson and Steph Curry both being out with injuries, but having all 4 of D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson along with Draymond Green makes this arguably the most versatile starting lineup in the league. With Towns only being 24 years old and the expectation that he becomes one of the best players in the entire league within the next few years, it makes sense why everyone a part of Golden State didn't show any worry whatsoever, with this being the worst season they've had since their dynasty began. But this completely changes everything, and having this much star power could turn their team around so fast that they go from the worst team in the league to a playoff contender. And the 8th seed isn't really that far off. Despite Golden State falling so low, they're still within 6 games of being back in a playoff spot, and there's more than half a season left to make up for the drastic first couple of weeks. Just having Towns, Russell, and Draymond out there for the time being could easily turn things around for this team, and there's still 2 other stars due back at some point. But according to The Athletic, even though Towns just signed this 5-year, $190 million deal, he's grown uncomfortable with the current state of Minnesota. With the Wolves failing to get help alongside him, many executives around the league took notice of this heading into February's trade deadline, and that's why the Warriors quickly got involved. It was rumored that the Warriors were interested in acquiring a top pick in next year's NBA draft, or possibly waiting until the 2021 offseason and make a splash of free agency to acquire a star like Giannis. But there's no doubt that they won't regret this trade bringing in Karl Anthony Towns, because he just has that potential to be as great as anybody. Hey yo fam, what are you doing bro? Click on this video. You see that video on the